So, the novitiate thinks you're a big shot. You decide to play along. The further along in this place you can get just on BS, the better. And honestly, if it came to a shooting fight, you had the equipment, you had the armor, you had the firepower. The Mechanicus neophyte leads you towards the ventilation tubes beneath the filtration station.
You see, my master, Tech Priest Zerubbabel has been working relentlessly to appease the spirits responsible for this mechanical failure. There seems to be some sort of malice apparatus in the area where the ventilation system connects with the filtration system.
You don't answer. Important people don't need to respond to the prattling of some novitiate. Within the massive ventilation tube, you can see the figure of a tech priest, his mechadendrites moving this way and that. You can see that a grate has been removed and the tech priest is manipulating various mechanical devices within. You see a number of beastmen working on what looks like a large mechanical pump. A team on one side pressing down on the lever, alternating with the team on the other side, possibly trying to pump air down to the depths below while the tech priest worked. Still more beastmen were pushing heavy sleds up and down the shaft, some carrying mechanical components, others with sacred oils and incense to be applied. Still others were hauling away damaged parts that the tech priest had removed. By the looks of the charred and damaged pieces, you guess that there must have been some kind of explosion. As you look over the beastmen themselves, you notice that they look quite a bit different than Book and his crew. These miserable creatures were poorly fed, their fur was matted and discolored, and most of them wore masks and breathing apparatuses to filter out the ubiquitous toxic material common found deep in the underhives.
Master Zerubbabel, one of the princes of House Xavier has come to speak with you.
An odd place for a prince, scuttling around maintenance shafts.
The tech priest's neck craned around unnaturally like that of a snake, as his ocular sensors whirred and focused on you and your beastman compatriots.
And odd company he keeps as well. Fine.
The tech priest gives the benediction and closes his ceremony. His deacons and novitiates begin the litanies anew and resume the work that the tech priest had started.
Now, what is it that you want?
Book snorted. You could tell that he was holding his tongue. The war continues to drag on, and I require replacements to my retinue. Your workers here would serve me well. You gesture to Book and his other beastmen.
You choose strange creatures to be your guardians, Prince of House Xavier. Though I must admit your stock does seem to be a superior breed compared to these radiation-ridden cretins. Fine. If I have your permission to acquire the biological components from the populace that I require to make more suitable assistance, then you may take any number of these diseased mongrels as you wish. Just leave the ones on the pump, unless you want millions of hive dwellers to suffocate, choking on their own repulsive carbon and methane emissions.
Book speaks to you over your private Vox channel in a low whisper.
I don't like this. I say we kill him and take all of the beastmen.
The beastmen are your people, I get that, Book. But underhivers are mine. I'm not about to kill millions of them. Anyway, we can't take too many back with us. They're not soldiers. If they outnumber us by too much, they're going to be too much to manage. We're just a handful of pirates. We're not revolutionaries. We're not liberators. You can hear Book grinding his teeth into the Vox. You address the tech priest. You care enough about your fellow underhive scum not to eradicate them. But you don't hold so much love for the slums that you'd shed a tear or two over a few scumbags getting turned into Mechanicus meat puppets. You have my permission to take what you need. Please use the prisons first. We don't need another revolution on our hands just because you wanted to grab random citizens off the streets.
I will be delicate in this matter. Now get these mongrels out of my sight.
And just like that, you walked out of the filtration facility with a dozen new beastmen in chains. That was easy. Almost too easy. But sometimes plans work out. You stopped by the corpses of the PDF unit you dispatched earlier and grabbed their weapons and armor for the pit.
Finally, let's get my brothers out of these chains.
You send an urgent message over the private Vox channel to Book. Book, I do not think that is a good idea. These are not your comrades. They don't know you. These are hive scum that probably haven't seen daylight since they were born. I don't think it's a good idea to start treating them like crew right away. We take them back to Kazazel, and they go into the pit just like everyone else.
What? I'm not freeing them from this place only to lock them up someplace else.
Book, this is what we've all been through.
This is different. This isn't some prison. They're not just meat.
Book, we are all just meat. Until we can prove that we're better than that. Look, let's just get them back to Kazazel. If you want to argue with him, I won't stop you from pleading your case. You manage to make your way back to the ship without further incident. You don't run across any rebels, and any civilians or loyalist forces you see give you a wide berth because of your apparent rank. When you are back on the ship, Book's confrontation with Kazazel goes about how you expected.
Everyone goes in the pit, Book. Everyone.
Why? Why can't I bring them on? They'll be part of my squad. I'll be responsible for them.
Because that's not how any of this works. We have the pit, and worthless scum go in by the truckloads. Some die, and some wander off, and some stay there as murderous psychopaths. The ones who make it into the crew have earned it. And when people feel like they've earned something, it creates some fucking loyalty, Book.
Hey, they're loyal to me. I saved them.
Everyone is loyal to themselves until they're loyal to an idea. And right now, Book, it seems like you've become loyal to the idea of liberation. And that's fine. Everyone needs a hobby, and I know my own are far from savory. All I'm saying is I don't judge, but we all can function because we all agree on one thing, that we're here to make money and not stab each other in the back. The pit is hell, with a chance to earn yourself a spot in heaven. Or at least a spot in hell's executive suite.
If we send them into the pit, then we're no better than the ones that locked them up.
Book, when in the nine hells have I ever pretended to be better than anyone? Where did you get the idea that anything I do is out of some sense of morality? I exist in this miserable, piss part of the galaxy the only way that I have found that works. And that's to surround myself with people that I trust, or people that are too stupid to pull off a betrayal properly. Now, which is it going to be for you, Book?
You could tell that Book was becoming quite angry. He's been reliable and something of a friend to you. However, Kazazel is the captain, and getting on his bad side could be a far worse option. So, the time has come to make a decision. Do you want to side with Book and argue on his behalf to allow the new beastmen to join the crew without having them go through their time as pitmongers? Do you want to side with Kazazel and insist that the beastmen go into stasis with the other pitmongers? Or do you have some compromise that you can offer that might satisfy both parties? Write your suggestions down below and comment them. A poll will be created from your suggestions you make, and it will help shape the narrative moving forward. No man do they call me. My mother and my father, and all my comrades as well. Thank you all for listening to the latest episode of Kazazel's Merry Marauders. If you enjoyed what you heard, you can leave a like and a comment so that one day you too might earn a spot in Hell's executive suite. If you haven't yet subscribed, please do so in order to hear more stories about goats arguing with elves. If you would like to support me, you can do so via my Patreon, my Teespring, or my PayPal. Those links will be down below in the description. And if you have absolutely no idea what's going on, then you can click on the Kazazel's Merry Marauder playlist, which should be appearing on screen right now to be able to watch the series from the beginning. Thank you all very much for listening. No Man out.